Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to cover Bitcoin in the market, as I do think we're going to have a red week ahead of us. We can tell right now Bitcoin is sitting above the range and possibly going to fall back into it if we don't turn around soon, and that would spell bloody week for alts. Right now, we are sitting at the edge and we still have a chance to turn around, but I'm pretty sure we got the liquidity we needed on the upside. You guys can see the channel. We broke above for a little bit and then straight bleed back into it, and now we're sitting above it by just a little bit. So I think what's going to happen here is we have two scenarios, obviously up and down, but how far up and down? And I think we have the potential to fall back down to about 103 if we do fall back into this range. So that's going to be a 5% drop. If we do manage to go towards the upside, then I think we're going to get liquidity here before we go back down and then hop up. I still do think we need to go back down one more time. We do have some fair value gaps that need filling. They don't need to be filled, of course. They can continue to go up and come back for them later, but most likely I do think we are going to head towards the downside and then pop back up. And these ranges are meant to bore you and grab liquidity from the upside and the downside. It's happened multiple times throughout the year, or I should say years. You can see here the same thing. It's a different kind of range. It's a trend towards the downside, and liquidity grabs all the way down as we move towards the upside really quick. We had a lot of fair value gaps that needed filling here. We grabbed this one, and I don't think we grabbed that one down there, but we got to this one as well. So we got two different fair value gaps right there, and you guys can see this is pretty much typical Bitcoin behavior. We've done it for the past couple of years. You can see a range down there, I should say a trend down there, counter trend. There we go, another counter trend, and then we have a range down here. So, you know, these ranges last between hundreds of days, so a couple of months, 231 days, 244 days. That's 100 days, and this one isn't even that long. It's about only 42 days. So I think as we get closer to the end of the cycle, the ranges get shorter. So we'll be blasting off here, I think, sooner than the other three ranges here, because I don't think we have that long left till the cycle is over. I think we have about 6 months left. So with that said, I think we're going to get one more push towards the downside, and then we're going to begin the move towards the upside. But let's take a look at the alts here, because that's what most people are interested in, as they are invested in that mostly. And if we take a look at USTD, which is US dominance, stablecoin dominance, we can see that we hit the bottom of the range here, and I did tweet out that I don't think this is actually going to be a breakout on Bitcoin because we haven't broken out of the USDT dominance. And you can see right there, I tweeted about it at the lows because I wasn't convinced that the Bitcoin breakout was real, because we simply hadn't broken out of this convincingly. You can see the last time we were in a bear flag over here, we broke out very convincingly with massive red candles on the downside, and we didn't do so over here. We even had it here more convincingly towards the downside. This was pretty much manipulation for liquidity, and we managed to get it. That's why the USDT bear flag didn't break down. So I do anticipate we are going to head to the midline or to the very top at the worst case scenario, and that means alts are going to bleed like they are right now. If we take a look at memes as a whole, we're going to see that memes are also on the verge of breakdown back to the meme discount zone. So if this does break down, I anticipate us to go down there in the value zone, which is going to be a bid area. If we don't break down, then obviously we're going to break this downtrend, which is going to be very bullish for alts. So I'm saying that's on the table possibly if this scenario comes to pass. Trading and investing is about scenarios, probabilities. So just watch these charts. Make sure to outline the levels, which is about 55 billion towards upside, and then I'd say if we break 50 billion towards the downside, we're probably going down here once again to revisit this area. And it's pretty much the same thing as the other alts. And if we look at others right here, it's pretty much in the same scenario. I drew out these scenarios previously from the bounce there, and now we're coming down towards this crossroads where we either break towards the upside like I just mentioned, or we head back to the liquidity area down here. So yet to be seen, but I do think we're headed towards the downside based on a lot of charts. I want to take a look at some majors here like Solana, and I can show you that we are currently breaking down. You can see Solana has been following Bitcoin. It broke out of the trend like Bitcoin did, but I don't think it's going to be able to sustain it. It looks like since we didn't have momentum on our side, I do believe that we're going to end up breaking towards the downside, and it's struggling to stay above this level. You see we came down here, made a lower high, and it just doesn't look like it has what it needs to break out of this trend. I think it's going to fall with Bitcoin as it was following it. So you can even see here the trend has been broken with Solana, and it's not a great sign. We wanted to see momentum and strength come in, but we didn't. So prices continuing to break down on the weekend, and that doesn't look too great. So overall, the market just looks like it's on the way down. And I'm going to take a look at some memes here that I'm interested in as well, like PopCat. And PopCat's in a bear flag, I believe. And if the total market cap for memes does break down, then I expect PopCat to go down along with it. So not too great. We're going to go about 20% possibly back down to this level here and possibly lower if we break this bear flag. Yet to be seen, so there's no real cause for panic. You'll be able to see on the chart if it does happen, then obviously cutting positions would be wise. If you're trading, if you're investing, I think it's fine depending on which area you invested in. But it's a bit of a confusing chart because we have a break of the downtrend and we have a move towards the upside started. So it doesn't make much sense for the chart to break down, which is why waiting is probably the best thing you could do here. On the bright side, Pengu, a coin that I'm interested in buying in, is falling towards the downside. And if we happen to get it down to about 1-2 right there, that's going to be an amazing opportunity to grab some Pengu. I do think that's going to be a great chance to load up on some quality memes right there. So don't know if we'll get it. We still have some work to do. You can tell on the MACD momentum is towards the downside as well as on the RSI. Yeah, so we've got a lot of room to fall on the MACD right there. It's just beginning to turn down. The RSI just turned down, so still some time left there. I think this is going to take a bit of time to fall. Might accelerate in the coming days, but we'll see. Still holding the trend right there, hasn't broken it yet, so we don't even have confirmation. Pengu, really strong coin in these conditions, looking real good. A bunch of other coins we can take a look at here is Bonk, and Bonk had a great move up in the past couple of days. It's moved up about 35% from July 1st in the past 5 days, so really good. I do think it needs a bit of a retracement from what we're seeing here. We got a bit of a snap today. I was trading it to the upside and got stopped out, but I do think we can get some opportunity to buy Bonk at the cheap if we just pull our fibs towards the upside and probably down to the 618, if not the 786. So we'll see. We still have a long way down. We do have some divergence, I believe. If we look at the 1 hour, you can see some divergence showing up on the 1 hour. So let's see if it shows up on the 2 hour. And yeah, it's showing up on the 2 hours. So I think this one has stopped momentarily. I'm not sure how it's going to be able to push higher after a 35% move to the upside, as well as all these bearish signs that are popping up. But we'll have to wait and see. If we draw a little bit of a trend line here, we can see that it could hold this steep trend line. But if it does lose this, then I do think we're going to be revisiting the lows. Maybe not that low, maybe down to about 1674 down there. I think coming back down here is a bit drastic, and that wouldn't be too pretty. So I think back to about 1674, so the 382 fib right there, I think that should help us hold it. We'll have to wait and see though, like most of these coins. And then we'll take a look at Fortcoin because memes are doing great. So what we're looking at over here is a move towards the upside with some divergence, I believe. So not too much on the 2 hour. It's there on the 3 hour, which isn't great. So again, some downside left there. And if we do lose this upper trend line right here, you guys can see that. If we do come down to about $1 and we lose that, I think we're heading lower down to about, you can see the fair value gap down there. I do think we're going to head down to about 60 cents. So that's not going to be pretty. And it's pretty much all depending on Bitcoin. If it dumps extremely hard, then I think the market's going to take a huge hit with it. So it's going to be sale time for those of you that have cash on the side, but it might be pain for those of us who are currently in position. So that's why it pays to know what you're looking at for in the charts, support levels, and where we're potentially heading in the big picture. I don't think things get really bad though. I think it's just an opportunity to buy. I do see us holding this dollar level if Bitcoin only falls to 103. To get down here, I think Bitcoin would have to fall into the low 90s. So I don't think we're going to necessarily do that because I'm expecting Bitcoin to bounce. It hasn't given me a reason why we're not going to bounce towards the upside eventually. And it's only a 5% drop, The last time Fartcoin, I think Fartcoin went to $1 during the FUD that happened on June 22nd. So I don't think it's going to be that bad. We had World War on the table and we only dropped to about 99K. So I'm pretty optimistic when it comes to Bitcoin and the alts. I just think this opportunity coming up is going to be a chance to buy alts on the cheap that you didn't get the opportunity to previously, because this was a pretty fast reversal. So we might get another chance here to load up. I know I want to load up on some Pengu specifically, and possibly some CRV. CRV I think is going to fall as well as we fall to 103. So that's going to be another chance to pick up some DeFi. If we look at CRV here, didn't quite get that bounce right there, but guess what? We're coming up on here about, I think, 46 cents. Looks like we're going to get it. We're extremely close. So I know I want to bag some before the reversal happens. So that's it for today's market update. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you guys on the next one.